All right. Hey, everyone. We are so excited that you are here joining us live today for day one of our workshop where we're talking about all week how to step into financial freedom and build that leverage legacy income online. And so my name is Natalie Lawson. I'm here with my good friend, Michelle Tufford, and we're going to be kicking off the workshop today talking about different pillars of mindset and really what does it require and what do we need as entrepreneurs and as believers to step into this next level of really creating that abundance and wealth with our businesses and how to do that. So be sure to tune in. This will be at 12 o'clock, just a little, give you a little background. This will be at 12 o'clock Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific time each day this week. There'll be new trainers throughout the week. So we'll be covering marketing. We'll be covering like the residual life, how to get it, how to live it. We'll have a panel discussion on Thursday. So all things you'll want to make sure to put into your calendar, set your alarms, and be here live with us. But Michelle and I have had the opportunity to work really closely together for the last few years. We both have backgrounds in attraction marketing and in coaching women to help them build profitable businesses online and leverage social media. And we also are both founding ambassadors here inside of Girl Power Alliance. And so we are just so excited to just be starting and kicking this off with you. And today our topic is going to be all about mindset. And we kind of have 4 key areas that we want to cover with you, not just your traditional, mindset training, because we all know how important, right, our beliefs are. And we were going to talk a little bit about our belief systems, but we want to go into some different areas as well to help you break down maybe some of things that might be blocking you in different areas when it comes to your mindset around different topics. So we're going to cover that today. So welcome. Let us know if you're watching live or on the replay, where you're watching from. We want this to be interactive. So be ready to type away in the comments and let's just dive in. So Michelle, is there anything you want to say before we go completely in or kick us off?
I mean, let's get going. But honestly, I would love to see, let's start us off with some engagement. I would love to hear in the comments. We're talking about helping, a step into more financial abundance, right? Creating that financial freedom. What does that look like? What does God say about that? What does it look like to partner with God in that, right? And man, I feel like God has taken me on this amazing journey over the last few years, very particularly this year, since Natalie introduced me to Girl Power Alliance, has been such a radical shift for me. And what does it really look like to partner with God in my business and also with my finances? Because when we talk about business, we're also going to be talking about money. And I think a lot of us struggle with different mindset issues around money. And maybe let us know in the comments, when you talk about money, what is the feeling that comes? If you were going to give it a name, what would money, when you start talking about money, what are some of the feelings that start to come up for you? Maybe give it a name. Let us know in the comments so we can kind of see where everyone's kind of feeling when it comes to money. Because I feel like it's such a huge part of our lives, right?
Yes.
So I'm excited to just dive into this and talk about how we can position ourselves and posture ourselves for more abundance, right? Less scarcity, more abundance. We want to get you out of that scarcity and more into abundance, because that's who God's really created us for, abundance.
Yeah, I love it. So the first thing we want to definitely talk about is obviously belief. And if you guys want to help kind of take notes with us in the comments for everybody else to follow along as well. But right, a lot of times I know we hear people say we will believe in you until you believe in yourself, which is key. You do need to have great mentors and leadership around you to continue to pour into you and to develop you and to speak life into you. But it's also important that we come to develop that belief in ourselves. And I wonder how many of you thought, when you see people who are successful or you see them doing that, are you the person who is more oh, that's so great for them, how awesome, but I don't think I can do that? Or are you the person who's well, if she can do it, I can do it? And if you want to really start to develop that mindset and that belief in yourself, well, if she can do it, I can do it. And that's exactly what got me even into online, the industry and everything, is because I saw these people making money and they were presenting, I'm well, heck, if she can do that, I can totally do that, right? So it's just about really starting to develop that belief in yourself. And if you don't have the belief in yourself, also uncovering, why not? Are there areas in your life that maybe you aren't stewarding as well, or that maybe you're living one way here and then you're trying to be this other person here? Those aren't going to mix, right? So you have to start developing each area of your life. Like that's one of the reasons, like I have absolutely, if any of you know me, know that I have talked about the Radiant Leadership Academy. Michelle is actually a coach of that as well, and is literally transformed my life. I've taken it 3 times, and it really does, because it helps you to go through each area of your life to uncover and really figure out, okay, where am I maybe not living up to my full potential, and maybe not doing and stewarding the best that I can in these areas, and helping you to develop in those. And the other belief thing I wanted to share with you is, a lot of people think that when they're building a business, we hear a lot, or we see through marketing, and people who are really good at marketing make it feel so easy, or make it look or seem like it's so easy, and you just have to do this and make this turnkey system and everything's going to flow amazingly for you. And very often, it's like very seldom do we get to see kind of what's actually happening behind the scenes. And God has really highlighted to me, especially this past year, through like Joshua and rereading stories like Esther and Ruth and the Proverbs 31 woman, is that these, and even the widow who fed Elisha, like these were people who had to fight for what they wanted. They had to like really be diligent in the work and not give up on what they wanted. Michelle and I love talking about pursuing those God-sized dreams. But you have to do that with perseverance. There's going to be so many obstacles that try and come in your way. The enemy is going to try. We know that we are not dealing with, things of this world. It's like the spiritual realms, right? There are going to be things that come against you when you're trying to step into your purpose and really trying to fulfill the plans that God has for you. Because the enemy doesn't want you to be successful. He doesn't want you to be speaking out and using your voice, or to share your business that could serve and be a blessing to others, right? But if we can persevere like Joshua did, and like all these other people that we see in the Bible, and we can work diligently and with urgency and consistency every day, that no matter what's going on in your life, that like, you're still going to make these different areas, and especially with your business, a priority. That's what it's going to take. And it's going to take that belief in what you're doing and in who you are. And again, all of this is under the realm, like Michelle said at the beginning, of partnering with God. It's partnering with God in all areas of your life and in your business, and seeking Him first on what He wants for you.
I love how we're talking about this belief, right? Because it really does, everything that we do is really a reflection of what we believe. Right? Where we're at in our life right now, and in our current circumstances with our finances, is a reflection of what we believe, right? It's evidence, right? It's evidence of what you believe. So then how do we change that, right? It's understanding this. I love that you brought up Radiant Leadership Academy, because again, like that for me was like the catalyst for so much of just a mindset shift around how I was operating in all areas of my life. But money is a big part of that. We spent a whole month on money in the Radiant Leadership Academy, and really understanding like, what does that actually look like, and what do we believe about that? And when we look at, our belief and what's possible, we have to seek the Lord on that, right? Like, I think too often we look around, we look at the world, but it's like, what does God say about you and what He has for you? We also look at our bank account and think to ourselves, like, that's where we're pulling our belief from. That's where we're pulling our trust from. Or we even look at the job that we have, or things that are outside. But when we really look at the Lord and understand it's a lordship issue, and really like, who are we really putting our trust in? When we put our trust in the Lord, then our belief system is not coming from these outside sources, right? It's coming from the Lord. And then our actions need to then become in alignment for what we believe to be true about God, not about our bank account or about that job that we have, right? And even, James Clear, if you guys haven't read the book, what's it called? I know, totally blank on, but it's James Clear. It's his book. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. No single incident will transform your beliefs, but as the votes build up, so does your evidence of your new identity. So when we truly believe that we are daughters of a king, right? And that we were made for what God has for us, we're not going to be looking to our bank account to decide our actions. We're going to look to God first, and then we're going to take those actions. The more we're in tune with the Holy Spirit, we're in action. And every time we take action in alignment for God's heart for us, that's when our belief starts to get really lined up with where it should be, right? So having that kingdom focus and having, our eyes on God and knowing who we are as his daughters, we can start taking action that will help build that confidence in being daughter of a king, not what the world wants to tell us or what our bank account wants to tell us or whatever that is. So yeah, we just have so much noise from the enemy coming and trying to tell us all these lies of things that we're not. So that's why it's so important that, our identity is coming from the right place.
Exactly. Yeah. It makes me think too, like it's that faith-filled action. Cause I think a lot of times too, we almost want to wait till it seems like everything is right or everything's in place, or let me get this out of my life. But the thing is, there's always things coming. So that's why it's important that you equip yourselves with the mentors, with the resources, with the people, and with like your, armoring up with the word so that you are prepared, right, for any battle or obstacle that's going to come against you so you can keep going. And it makes me think of when the Israelites are going into the promised land, and I can't remember the exact details. I know it's in Joshua, but this really hit me too, of like the water did not part until they stepped into the water with the covenant or with the ark of so they had to be willing to step into the water with belief that God was going to part the water. So you have to be willing to sometimes take that faith-filled action to say yes to that new business, or to, be willing to reach out to people, be willing to put yourself and go live, and like those things that can seem scary, but really like, there's people being persecuted for their beliefs all around the world. And we have the opportunity to hit that live button and share about our business or share about our faith or share what God has placed on our heart, with the comfort of our own home. So we really need to take that action forward. And if we're struggling, I've been talking to so many women who are believers who are struggling so much in their finances. And this is why I think it's so important now more than ever that if you have a business, we have to really help you step into creating that financial freedom, which is why we put that workshop together, because we should be the ones. And I love, where is it? Sean Bowles, I wrote this down. He said, let your lifestyle reflect the wealth and blessings God has given you. Like, I want to be the believer that people say, like, how on earth are you living this way? Or how are you giving so generously? How are you doing these things? And it can, like in the Proverbs 31 woman, like can all point back to him. Like she was only successful in doing those things. It was a reflection of who she was in working with Christ. And so just think about what is possible. And I want to, maybe you guys write this down. Like, have you envisioned what you're going to be able to do with the finances and what that will do for you and for your family? And then be above and beyond that. Like, do you have that vision? But to get there, you have to be willing to implement. You have to be super intentional, and you have to be learning. Michelle, I know you brought up a scripture earlier I think is so good. Do you want to share that with them?
Yeah. So it's Hosea 4:6. My people perish from a lack of knowledge. It's so true. It's like we're giving these tools and these resources, and God puts us in opportunity for coaching, for mentorship, for resources that are right there at our fingertips, right? But of course, the enemy is going to come and tell us all these lies of all these reasons why we can't, right? We can't afford it, right? Don't have the time. These are all the things that the schemes of the enemy is going to try and keep you stuck and in a lack of knowledge. That's honestly what the enemy is going to do, because he knows what will happen when you are equipped with the knowledge, with the resources to be able to go out and actually start taking action to create that impact, right? I love also, my pastor shared, I think it was last Sunday, I can't remember, but he was talking about how if the enemy can't get you to be a bad person, to like make bad choices, right? He's going to get you into a place of being lazy and a place of being stuck, right? So the scheme of the enemy is to keep you lazy and stuck, right? Because he knows that you're not going to have any impact on the world, on people around you, and in your own life if you are stuck in that place, right? You might not be doing anything bad, but what are you doing that is good? That is like moving things, shaking things, right? Like kingdom shakers, right? Man, the enemy doesn't want you to be that. So what's he going to do? He's going to give you all kinds of reasons why you can't, right?
I think that's why because I have felt that where there's days where I'm like, I feel like I want to be lazy. Like my body is like, just lay on the couch or just don't send out that message. Don't do, right? And I was even talking to Molly Trotter. She's our co-founder here in GPA, an incredible mentor. So we talk about like, and I know you mentioned earlier from Jim Baker, like he says, the number one success factor for people who are building wealth and who are doing well in their business or whatever area they're achieving in is because they have mentors. And that is why Michelle and I are continuously pouring into ourselves, like investing into ourselves and surrounding ourselves with mentors, which is why we love this community so much, because we have people at our fingertips on any given moment. And I was sharing with Molly, like, I've just been feeling like anytime I go to read the word, or anytime I go to like send out this message or to put this post out, like I feel so much resistance. Like it's almost like my body wants to freeze and like do nothing. And when you're getting ready to hit those next levels of success, or that just next level of like breaking barriers and having breakthroughs and transformations and wanting to seek God more, that's when you probably will feel that resistance, because the enemy doesn't want that. And that's why it goes back to what I said at the beginning. Our perseverance and our persistency, our consistency, like, and us fighting for what we want, it has to be there. Like you have to have that mentality and that shift of, no matter what, like I'm going to say yes, even when it feels hard, or even when it, things aren't going the way I want them to, or whatever your reasons may be. It's like having that structure, and the people around you who are going to, again, speak life into you too, simultaneously. So I want to talk about, kind of continue on with that, like a little bit of that money mindset. I think this is so important and I want to hear from you guys too. Like when you hear the word money or wealth, what do you feel or think? I personally used to think I can't afford that. I mean, you would have heard that out of my mouth all the time. Can't afford it. Can't afford it. I felt lack, like I don't have enough. I was definitely that person who was burying their money anytime I had it in the sand. I didn't want to share it because I was afraid of not having enough or it going away, because I saw what happened in my family. Like it seemed like anytime they got money, they lost money, something would happen in our, and so I grew up kind of around that mentality, but I also saw the potential of making money, because I was also surrounded by people who did have wealth and worked hard for their wealth and were able to give generously, and we're having, get-togethers all the time. And we're always like, oh yeah, sure, use it. Like they just seemed so generous. And I was like, I want to be that. How do I have that? And so your money mindset has to come around you understanding, first of all, that money is just a tool and it's an exchange of value. And so money is going to come in, money's going to go out. It's a flow. And we, like, I think you said earlier, Michelle, like it's not where we should not be asking money what we can do. It's we're asking God what he wants us to do and what's in alignment with his will and how does he want us to steward that money. And we have to be able to have our hands open like this. Because what happens when your hands are like this, you not only can release, but you also get to receive his blessings too. So it's this exchange. And if your hands are open and you're willing to learn and uncover those barriers that you're having around money, then you're going to be able to also receive more of it and be okay with, a lot of people have fear of not only failure, but fear of success, fear of, well, what if I have all this money? What will I, do I know what to do with it? And that's why we have to educate ourselves. A few of my favorite courses in GPA, Entrusted with Her Finances. She breaks down every single bit of like money mindset, but also helps you develop into different wealth pillars. And like, what does that look like? I love, again, the Radiant Leadership Academy, spending a month on understanding money and how to steward it and knowing like, where's your lordship? So those are things that have definitely helped me to really shift my thinking around money, but also step into being able to create more, have more money flowing to me because it can be entrusted with more. And so I think those are some of the areas we have to think about when we're building our business.
Yeah. Well, there were some comments coming in. Then these were from prior when I was asking, what feelings come up for you? So I scrolled back and I think we may have run into some issues with the live not showing the comments. Sometimes Facebook is thinking that way. But stress and anxiety were the most common things coming up for people in the comments around money. And it's so interesting because it made me realize when we read the parable of the talents, what was the guy's issue when it came to making the investment, to multiplying? What was it?
He was afraid of, I think he was afraid. Right?
He was fearful. Right? It was fear, right? Stress, anxiety, fear, like fear. That's all like a really similar emotion, right? Of, realizing like where we're putting our hope and faith and trust, right? And this is something, me too. Like it's like this battle of like fear, stress, and then going back into no, okay, I trust God, right? It's like this tug of war that I play sometimes.
Yeah, I think some people say it's like a love-hate relationship.
It's like a love-hate
Yeah.
relationship, yes. But man, when you start to really understand that God is really your provider and your resource, and you look back over the course of your life, I mean, see where he's shown up for you. Where is his provision? He's just always shown up. I have this conversation with my husband all the time. Anytime we get into a situation, we're like, what are we going to do? It's like, remember, what has God done in the past? Has he shown up for you? All right. And then ultimately, whose is it? Right? Whose is it anyways? It's God's. So I just love, when we're constantly pointing people back to like, who is your provider? Like, where is that resource actually coming from? Right. And understanding that it is just a tool and a resource, right? We attach all of these like emotions, we attach all of this. And I think a lot of it's because we're putting our trust in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not meant to put our trust in money, right? Like, that's when it becomes an idol in your life. I think too often I used to think that people who put money as an idol were the ones making all the money. But what I've realized that it's actually, in my opinion, more common if you're not making the money, if you're constantly worried about the bill you have to pay and the debt, and it's causing stress and it's causing anxiety. It's because it's taking a place in your heart where God needs to be, right? Anytime you put something in your heart where God needs to be, it then becomes an idol, right? So when we've placed money on the posture of our heart that is creating stress and anxiety and worry, it's because we've put money right there as an idol, right? And I know this is for me too. So I'm not like coming to like preach at anyone. This is for myself too. It's a constant reminder of like, where is money on your heart, right? Place God back there and continue to just ask God to help you see him as your provider, not money, right? And allow that peace to come that surpasses all understanding. We're promised that when we put him first, and then seek God's guidance on how you can make more, right? How you can be stewards of more resources so that you don't have to be concerned about your bills and your finances and all these things. That's why we're, not meant to be in debt. We're not meant to be in a position where we have to ask our bank account for permission, right? So
I love that. And you guys will love coming on Wednesday because Michelle Schaefer, who's a success expert, network marketing expert, she's a wealth builder. You'll get so much wisdom when you learn and hear from her every time. And she will talk even more in depth about this aspect. So I definitely make sure you're there for her interview on Wednesday. But I love this affirmation that we get from, I'll just give you a little sneak peek of the RLA if you haven't had a chance to do it yet. But I love this, and maybe just to give you guys something that you can take away too, and even start just to speaking over your life, is that God always provides me with more than enough. I honor him with my spending and stewarding. I trust God's plan for my life, and I'm excited to sow into my dreams with bold steps. Investing in my future will yield a 10-fold harvest. And again, it all goes back to, right, that belief, and then activating those scriptures, because there's so much in there that shows us that we can walk in that abundance and get out of that scarcity mindset. And the last thing as we wrap up, I just want to like kind of uncover to the mindset around like sales and network marketing. I'd love to hear how many of you who in here is in network marketing, or you're in sales. I'm sure all of you, I'm not guessing, are in business, or maybe you're wanting to start a business. And if you're in network marketing, I think a lot of the people in here are in network marketing or have been in an MLM. And I'd love to just talk for a couple of minutes, and as we wrap up, of like reshaping your mindset and reframing your mindset too around the network marketing, multi-level marketing industry. A lot of people hear those words and they like some shy away from it. And what we want you guys to understand is like MLM and network marketing itself is not bad. It is actually an incredible profession to be a part of. And it's a very smart business model. That is why people like Michelle and I have even come and been a part of this industry, because we've been coaches, we've done programs, and we've done affiliate marketing and different things like that, where yes, you can earn good money, but a lot of times too, it's one-off commissions. And if you're not working your business, you're not making money. And what's really beautiful about a network marketing and multi-level marketing model is that you can build a leveraged legacy income. You can build a residual passive, sustainable long-term income and the beautiful part about it is not only are you making good income, but how are you making good income? It's because you're turning around and helping other people create an incredible income. You're helping other people really develop their skill sets and their mindsets and their belief systems, while also helping them to learn how to build a business so that they're building financially. And then what does that do? That also benefits you. So you're also getting paid for your time invested, but you're required to work with and partner with others. And it's not just all about you. It's not what can you get out of it and how much can you do? It's how much can you serve people? How much can you help people? And it really does help you step into that like serving over selling framework. And so if you've ever had just like a icky feeling about it, or you've been afraid of, being salesy or, not being authentic or whatever. Well, the only reason that happens is if you're just constantly only copying and pasting, or if you are not learning the skills that you need to overcome some of those things that are required. You have to start treating it like a business, and it'll pay you like a business. But it's going to require you to take that time to learn and to grow and develop, and also just shift that mindset into understanding that it's just a business model. But guess what? How Michelle and I build our business is the same as how we would build our coaching program or how we build an affiliate marketing. We build it the same. But here we get actually rewarded even more because we get to help and impact even more people. And the people that work with us, now we get to help them get paid instead of them just paying us for our coaching or whatever. And we get to help them actually get paid. And that's what brings me more like just excitement and joy for the industry than anything. And there is if you want to dive in even deeper, and Michelle, I know will have some lasting, amazing words for us. But there's actually a really great on the Girl Power Alliance YouTube channel. There's a really great training on like reframing your mindset if you guys want to dive deeper into this, and on like the network marketing industry and understanding that even better. Because I think that if you're in that industry at all, or you're looking to get into there, but maybe you've had some resistance, that is really going to help you realize just what a beautiful experience it can actually be for you, and how you can build residually and passively long-term. And that right there to me is what brings financial freedom and cash flow to get you out of any lack that you might be feeling.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. Like you said, I've had experience in other avenues, right? Affiliate marketing, I had my own coaching program and things. But yeah, it's just a lack of fulfillment. One, because when it becomes, it feels like almost like all about you, and then realizing there's really no leverage, right? It's like one and done, right? But when we look at building a residual income, something where you actually can have something coming in every single month without you having to be so tied down, right? We're talking about having freedom, and people talk about financial freedom, right? But it's like, are you really free? Like, are you really having the ability to pick up and to say yes to God whenever he's putting something, in your heart, to be able to go and move and do those things? I mean, like, you think about, being tied down. If you have a job working a 9 to 5, like, there's no freedom there, right? Or even if you are having to sell on an affiliate marketing program, there's no freedom there either. Because if you're not selling, you're not making the money. So I love the passive element, the leveraged piece, but even more than that, like you said, Natalie, it's the leadership building. It's realizing like the ability to pour into other people, help them build success, and then realizing it's not just me. It's like I get to come alongside and partner with other women and help them, step into more of who God created them to be. I love that that's really just built in here at Girl Power Alliance, is that the framework is so foundational around kingdom building. And I love what we even say about MLM as it's not like multi-level marketing, it's multi-level ministry, because really what Jesus was the first network marketer. He got his 12, and then, he encouraged them to go get to keep passing it along. And what you partner with something that is making such an impact at such a kingdom level, it's like, oh yes, like even more so do I love the industry because of what it's doing to equip and empower people to go out and share something that is truly making a difference, right? Because you get to choose what you partner with and products that you sell. And there's some great products out there, some great businesses out there. But man, when I came in here to Girl Power Alliance and saw the kind of change that it had in my life, Like it started there, like changed my life in such a way that I'm like, I don't want to just keep this to myself. I know that there are other women who are out there praying for something like this right now, that they are desperately seeking something that's going to pour into them, fill their cup, help them become more of who God's created them to be. And then in turn, being able to help others do that too. It's like, yes, sign me up. Let's do
Right.
this. I love it.
Yes. Awesome. Well, I hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of today. Drop value if you feel like you got some nuggets handed to you. And we just want you to continue to keep reframing how you feel and how you think about yourself and about what you're doing in your business. Continue to reframe and renew, right? In Romans 12:2, it says renewal of your mind, and in how you're even treating your business. And maybe you haven't been giving it to showing up to the best of your ability. Like, what is one area that you can reframe, that you can renew, that you can replace bad habits with good habits that are going to help you step into that next season and that next level of yourself and that next level potential that you have. I think even it was Sean Bowles who said on one of our trainings, he came in and led a coaching call for us. We get to have different speakers every month and each week. So actually even this Wednesday, if any of you are members or you decide you want to become a member here, you get access to all these we have like 200 plus on-demand courses and resources we get access to, but also in live like trainings too from industry experts in ministry. And one of the, she's going to be talking and diving deeper into money mindset and wealth creation or wealth building and what does that look like in partnership with God. And so you're going to love, that's a call that we'll have on Wednesday that you get access to. But one of the calls we had was with Sean Bowles, and he said you can't get to the next level using the same skill and mindset you use to get where you are now. And so I just want to encourage you with that like if you are looking or needing mentorship or in kingdom minded mentorship and be in alignment, like there are resources here in GPA that are incredible for you, but I want to encourage you to find that person then or those people that you can link arms with and really help you get there a little further faster and not have to go through all the trial and error. And so we hope that this brought you guys a lot of encouragement today and helped you to start breaking down some walls that maybe you were facing or experiencing and started to reframe some of those mindsets. So we're excited to come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to dive into kind of more of the how-tos when it comes to building your business online to start attracting more people to you, creating that leveraged, business model. And we're going to talk about marketing. So Lemon Price, she is a guru when it comes to marketing. She's owned her own marketing agency. So you're going to love learning from her. And so be sure to stay tuned as we come back tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific. We'd love to see you again, and bring your friends, invite other business besties or people with you. You can still invite them into the group and they'll all have access. So anything else, Michelle, as we wrap up?
Oh, that's it. I'm excited for the next few days. It's going to be value packed. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.